Solving quadratic equations by extracting the square root. Are you familiar with the square root? Square root property. Square root of n squared is equal to n. It means that the square root of a number is the number that, when you multiply by itself, gives the original number. Like for example, the square root of 25. So what is the square root of 25? The square root of 25 is positive negative 5. Because when you multiply positive 5 by itself, it becomes, or the product is 25. And same also, when you multiply negative 5 by itself, the product is still 25. So now, let's try to solve quadratic equations by extracting the square root. There are steps in solving quadratic equation by extracting square root. First step, isolate the quadratic term. Second, after you isolate the quadratic term, if a is not equal to 1, divide both sides of the equation by a. Then, get the square root of both sides of the equation, and last, simplify the resulting equation to solve for the value of the variable. Let's try to apply it. Like for example, x squared minus 9 is equal to 0. Again, we need to follow or apply the step. First step, isolate the quadratic term. We need to isolate the quadratic term. Therefore, we need to transpose negative 9 on the other side. So it becomes x squared is equal to 9. Next, step 2. If a is not equal to 1, divide both sides of the equation by a. Since a is equal to 1, we need to proceed to step 3. For step 3, get the square root of both sides of the equation. Square root of x squared and the square root of 9. Then, step 4. Simplify the resulting equation to solve for the variable. So the square root of x squared is x is equal to the square root of 9 is positive negative 3. Therefore, the solution to x squared minus 9 is equal to 0 is 3 or negative 3. Take note, there are two solutions to a quadratic equation. The square root of a number is positive and negative number. Do not forget to put this sign. Let's try another example. X squared minus 64 is equal to 0. Again, follow the first step. Isolate the quadratic term. It becomes x squared is equal to, when we transpose negative 64 on the other side, it becomes positive 64. Then, we've already done for step 1. Let's proceed for step 2. If a is not equal to 1, divide both sides of the equation. Since a is equal to 1, let's proceed to step 3. In step 3, get the square root of both sides of the equation. So the square root of x squared and the square root of 64. Then, step 4. Simplify the resulting equation to solve for the variable. So what is the square root of x squared? The square root of x squared is x is equal to, what is the square root of 64? So the square root of 64 is positive negative 8. Therefore, the solution to x squared minus 64 is equal to 0 are positive 8 or negative 8. Another example, 6x squared minus 216 or 216 is equal to 0. Again, follow the first step. Isolate the quadratic term. Transpose 200 or negative 216 on the other side. So 6x squared is equal to 216. Next, step 2. If a is not equal to 1, divide both sides by the equation a. Since the value of our a is not equal to 1, but it is 6, therefore we need to divide both sides by 6. Cancel. So x squared is equal to 216 divided by 6 is 36. Next, step 3. Get the square root of both sides of the equation. So the square root of x squared and the square root of 36. So the square root of x squared is x is equal to the square root of 36 is positive negative 6. Therefore, the solution to x of 6x squared minus 216 equals 0 is positive 6 and negative 6. How about this one? A plus 5, or the squared of a plus 5 is equal to 36. How are we going to solve the value of our variable? First, get the square root of both sides. So a plus 5, because the squared or the square root of a plus 5 or the squared of a plus 5, cancel this one, it's still a plus 5, is equal to the square root of 36 is positive negative 6. Next, transpose positive 5 on the other side. So a is equal to, put or transpose positive 5 after the equal sign, it becomes negative side. A negative 5 rather. Positive negative 6. Then simplify. We use first the positive 6 to get the value of our a. So a is equal to negative 5 plus 6. Our a is equal to positive 1. Next, negative 6. A is equal to negative 5 minus 6. So a is equal to negative 11. Therefore, the solution to the squared of a plus 5 equals 36 are positive 1 and negative 11. Another example, 3x plus 5 minus 100 is equal to 0. Again, isolate the quadratic term. So we just simply copy the square root of 3x plus 5 is equal to, transpose negative 100 on the other side. Becomes positive 100. Next, get the square root of both sides. Ayan. So cancel this one, cancel this one. So 3x plus 5 is equal to, the square root of 100 is positive negative 10. Next, transpose positive side here after the equal sign. So it becomes 3x is equal to negative 5 plus and minus 10. Next, we need to solve the value of our variable. So in positive 10, let's first use the positive 10. So 3x is equal to negative 5 plus 10. Simplify, 3x is equal to positive 5. Since the value of our a is not equal to 1, divide both sides by the value of our a, which is 3. Therefore, the value of our x is 5/3. Next, how about negative 10? So 3x is equal to negative 5 minus 10. So 3x is equal to negative 5 minus 10 is negative 15. Then, since again our a is not equal to 1, divide both sides by the value of our a, which is 3. So, cancel this one. Our x is equal to negative 5. Therefore, the solution to the squared of 3x plus 5 minus 100 equals 0 is, or are, 5/3 and negative 5. Thank you, and I hope you've learned more. And see you again for my next vlog. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more learnings or for more infos about mathematics.